Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming to our session today. We are here with Nick and Bree from JobNimbus, and they're just going to share all about their company, what they're hiring for, and of course, what we're all here for, some diversity, and so whatever their diversity initiatives are. So I will let Nick and Bree kick it off. Thank you so much, guys, for coming today.
Thank you. Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for everyone that's attending. It's nice to have you and be able to share the story of JobNimbus and be able to hear from Bree. She's one of our employees here that does many great things, and she's got a great story to share. So I'm excited to get to that part of it. My name's Nick Cook. I'm the recruiter here at JobNimbus, and if there's anything you need after this call or during the call, whatever it may be, please feel free to search me on LinkedIn and message me there. I am more than happy to connect with anybody and discuss anything that we go over during this presentation, or anything at all that you're curious about as you're seeking a job or just wondering about JobNimbus in general. So we'll get going here. JobNimbus, our whole mission is to make contractors heroes. We create a CRM that is used in the construction sector, and more specifically with home exterior companies. So the majority of our customers are roofers, and then I'd say it's about 60%, and then the other 40% approximately is other home exterior companies. So concrete, fencing, pools, windows, bricks, stucco, anything you can think of that a contractor would need to do on the exterior of your home. Those are the people that use our software platform to track their jobs and be able to send invoices to their customers and grow their businesses and really just improve their lives. So to see the numbers behind that, it's really exciting. We see a huge jump in revenue when our customers start using our product, a huge jump in their free time as well, which is part of our mission to make them heroes so they get to spend more time with their families. And we make them heroes not just to their families, but their employees as well. So everything just flows a little bit more seamlessly than it did before. And I'll be happy to talk more in depth about that to anybody that would like to reach out to me for more information. So here at JobNimbus, we believe in the hero's journey, and we follow it very closely. We implement it into our culture in some really cool ways. But if you think of any hero's journey that you have seen or even been a part of yourself, whether it be in a book or a movie, there's always that call to action for the hero. And then there's a departure from the ordinary world. So the hero decides to solve a big problem. Today, we'll be talking about Nacho Libre and his hero's journey as he became a professional wrestler. Then there's the initiation phase where the hero learns, they devise a strategy to solve the problem. They struggle through challenges, usually with a mentor or somebody to help them up-level their skills. And then there's a return. Problem is solved and the hero is changed by the experience for the better. And here at JobNimbus, that's what we try to do with our culture. We have many different resources for our employees to improve their career, to advance in their career, and improve skill sets in areas that they may not even be exploring yet. But we try to provide those tools in as much as we can and, really make everybody here a hero. So that's how we tie it into our culture here. So again, at JobNimbus, your call to action would be a departure from your current job. You would accept that. You would leave your ordinary world. You would get your new challenges. You would meet your mentor, your boss, your trainer, whoever it may be. And a lot of times there's a refusal to the call in the hero's journey. If you can think about, I know we're talking about Nacho Libre, but Luke Skywalker is a really good one to reference as well. Refuse the call initially, but then they cross the threshold. And that would be Nacho Libre. His ordinary world was being a monk. He was, in the monastery. He was not looked upon very highly by his peers and really just wasn't getting the respect that he deserved, right? Everybody picked on him. His departure and his call to adventure was he saw the luchadores. And it was a sin for a monk to be a luchador, but he wanted to do it. And that was what he believed true calling was. And so that was the road that he chose to pursue, even though he had to do it in secret for so long. And then he met his mentor, and his mentor, Escalito, the unlikely hero in the movie, right? One of the additional heroes. He comes in, he teaches Nacho Libre different skills, how to wrestle, what to do. They have a great partnership. And then he meets his crush, and she tells him, no, this is a sin. You cannot do it. Nacho Libre, this is not allowed. We must follow, what we are taught. And they share some toast in one of the most awkward scenes I've ever seen in a movie. But it was great, and it was crunchy toast, and it was celebrated, and everybody loved it. So then he crossed the threshold. He accepted that challenge and decided that he was going to become a professional wrestler anyway. And he got on his road to do that. And during that, he entered the initiation phase and figured out who his allies were. He went through his trials and tests. His enemies were identified, the great Ramses. And then he decided his approach and went through the ordeal. And that's part of the subset for the initiation phase of the hero's journey. So his allies, they would be the orphans, the kids he was taking care of. One in particular that knew what he was really doing, right? And that was who became his ally within the monastery there. And then he went through his series of tests where he became more physically fit. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie, he climbs the top of a cliff to drink the yolk of an egg from an eagle because it will give him magical powers. And I think the guy that was taking him out on the boat was definitely drunk and almost got hit by a rock, and it was hilarious, right? Because it's a Jack Black movie. But it's still a very interesting point in the hero's journey where he's overcoming all of these challenges to do what he needs to do to be successful, just like we do here at JobNimbus. And then the enemy, the great Ramses. Everybody loves Ramses. Jack Black's character, Nacho Libre, loved Ramses, looked up to him, but he treated him so poorly. And that was, eventually who he ended up going up against in his final match. He went through his trials with the scary little lion-horned wrestlers. I don't even remember what they're called, but I have to fast forward through that part of the movie. They won their matches, they lost their matches, and they learned and became better from it. So the approach, right? Nacho Libre decides, I'm going to do this. I'm embracing this challenge. He gets his robe caught on fire, his pants get exposed, and everybody in the monastery discovers who he actually is. He's cast out, and he spends some time in the wilderness reflecting and just thinking about what he needs to do and what he wants to do next and how he can best serve his own interest while also taking care of other people in the process. And then his mentor comes back and gets him, which is the return. And in the return phase, you'll see the resurrection, the reward, and then the return finally. Initiation, the ordeal and resurrection, going up against the great Ramses. Obviously, Nacho Libre was not the favorite in this match, but he did what he could. He overcame and he won. And then he returned to the monastery, returned to the orphans, to his crush, and they end up going and starting their own thing on their own after they'd crushed that threshold. So I didn't do the movie justice. I never do. I'm a horrible paraphraser. But if you want to talk more in depth about it, I am more than happy to do that. So again, please reach out to me on LinkedIn if you're interested at all in hearing more about JobNimbus after we're done talking here today. And with that, I will turn it over to Bree and let her tell her story.
Hi, everybody. My nickname is Bree, and everyone calls me that, but my full name is Bree Lynn. I am a QuickBooks integration specialist at JobNimbus. I've been working there for about a little over a year now. So that's exciting. You want to go to the next slide there, Nick? So this is kind of about my hero's journey at JobNimbus, what that looked like. So my kind of ordinary world before we started was I was working at Starbucks. I was an actor at a theme park, been doing acting for kind of my entire life. And I still do that even as I was looking into more lucrative kind of career paths and things of that nature. So I started looking and got my call to adventure with looking at LinkedIn, and I found JobNimbus. I've always been scared of change. It's never something that's exactly exciting to me, but it was something that I needed to kind of get over that hurdle. So that refusal of the call was definitely me not wanting change and not wanting to flow between a new job and new experiences and things of that nature. But I finally sent in my application, and after one interview with JobNimbus, I got an offer letter and accepted it about 2 days after I received it. And regardless of that fear, I still got to kind of become a part of the support team here at JobNimbus. And that was, and I found my allies in that process, and I got to find the support team, and they were all super, super helpful, and they're all a very loving team. And I absolutely love that team still to this day, even though I'm not technically a part of them anymore. But I always felt super supported. Some of our tests and trials in the first little while, we had a bunch of kind of outages and things that happened with our emailing system. So a lot of that kind of hit hard on the support team. So about 75% of our customers were affected, and that hit the support team super hard with the amount of tickets and callbacks and all that things that we had to do in those weeks. And we kind of all leaned on the support of the team and helped each other make sure that we were both mentally, physically, everything was good. And so we were all kind of supportive with each other. And that was always super nice to have that team backing you. And so we kind of worked through that and worked through the ordeal by speaking with your managers. And I felt a little bit stuck by the end of that outage. I was like, I don't really know where I'm going with JobNimbus. So I spoke with my managers and spoke with our helpful PX team, person experience team and things of that nature. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going, help me. And so they did. I click that next. There we go. And then at the beginning or end of last year, I interviewed for the position of a QuickBooks integration specialist. I didn't know much about the QuickBooks integration. Even working in support, it didn't come up as often as some of our other issues and things of that nature. But I definitely wanted to try and learn something new and try and open my horizons with that one. And everyone in the interviewing process and everyone in my team even was super supportive in me deciding to go and kind of pursue something different within the company. And it was actually really, really exciting when I got that offer letter and started that job at the beginning of this year. And there's, of course, all new challenges and all new perspectives and things that happened for that job and for the path that I'm on now. But it is definitely rewarding within that return and kind of finding that I've broadened my skills and knowing that I need to kind of ask these different questions and where I'm going in my next step of the journey. I've actually had conversations with where I want to go in my next pieces of my journey, which is actually really cool that they promote, and my manager has helped me kind of find those next steps and figure out what knowledge I need to carry and what classes or even what outside sources I need to bring in, which is actually really cool. And I love my experience here at JobNimbus.
Well, we love having you. Yeah, Bree is an amazing asset to the company. So thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey here at JobNimbus. One of the things that's important, obviously, to us is equality in every aspect of the word here at JobNimbus, right? It doesn't matter if it's orientation, if it's race, if it's religion. We want to be an inclusive workplace for everyone to feel comfortable and safe and feel like they can thrive. And so we've got a belonging committee. And with our belonging committee, they would obviously talk about the things that, you would expect a belonging committee to talk about. But just basically trying to keep a pulse on where we're at and how we're doing, and making sure that underrepresented communities and people that feel like they could be in a vulnerable situation, that they have the resources and support that they need, and that they feel like they're being treated fairly. It's very forefront of our mind. It's something that we talk about all the time in our PX meetings. So it's cool to see that we have a committee that does it. You can see some of the metrics here that they measure on that. It's, how compassionate is the J Force? That's what we call our employees here. How vulnerable can I be at work? How comfortable do I feel doing that? Does JobNimbus seek a mutual sense of understanding with differences in different people and communities, creeds, backgrounds, everything we've talked about, orientations, right? And are there equitable opportunities for all J-Force employees? Those are some of the things that we keep an eye on. And what's nice is if you look at this, you will see JobNimbus does excel in all of these categories. These are numbers based upon industry averages, not just numbers from JobNimbus. So compared to our peers in the industry, other companies, we're doing really well, which is something we're very proud of. So some of our open roles, we have some customer success positions open. We're always looking for good talent to help our customers and help support them, make sure that they're getting what they need. Onboarding specialist and senior onboarding specialist to help our customers get used to, using the product and comfortable with, all the features that we have to offer. And then with IT, we've got engineers. We're always looking for engineers, just like everybody else. Also product designers at the moment, and then sales, looking for, sales development representatives to come and help increase the number of companies using JobNimbus. So some of our benefits and values, and I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast here. I'm trying to make up for a little bit of lost time. But self-driven is one of our core values. It's definitely a quality that we look for as we interview candidates, and everybody goes through the interview process. We try to identify, that quality within people. We want employees that want to be here and have fun and be invested and improve their skills, right? It's all part of the hero's journey. And then some cool benefits that go along with that. We do offer 100% free medical insurance. That's one of the options we have. We actually have several options for you. And then dental, vision, short-term and long-term disability, life insurance, 401k and 401k match. Pretty standard stuff that you'd see in corporate America there. Life balance is another big core value for us. So we have hero time, which is just a day for you to take off. And for lack of a better term, it's a mental health day. There's no special stipulations with it or anything that we ask in return. We might ask you, what you did. And in as much as you're comfortable sharing it, we'd love to hear what you did to recharge. But that's something that we do here that's really cool. We actually make people take those days off. We also have our PTO, just like everybody else. Life balance days, already kind of talked about that. And then J-Force holidays. I mean, we've got all the normal holidays off. We've also got 2 floating holidays. And then we also shut down for the whole week between Christmas and New Year's, because who's working during that time anyway? So go be with your families, your friends, and enjoy yourself. Proactive learning is another really big area that we focus on. We want people, again, it goes along with the hero's journey. And like Bree spoke about, people that want to keep improving and keep learning. That's the culture that we have here, where we always want to keep getting better. And it's not because we're not doing good enough. It's just because we always want to do better, right? You can never be done learning. And that's what we believe here. So we do have guest speakers that come in. We have town halls, and we have a weekly all hands where our CEO will stand up and give us a very transparent view of how the business is doing. And I value that so much. I've been at companies where that transparency didn't exist, and it's not as fun. So it's definitely nice that we have a CEO and an executive team that cares about that transparency, cares about, everybody being on the same page, and really drives that from the top down. And then delivering customer value is obviously a huge core value for us. And then corporate responsibility kind of goes along with that. So anytime there is a project for Habitat for Humanity in Utah County, which is where we're located here in Utah, we actually go out and do the work. We sponsor that. We are the main sponsor for the event. We actually have one coming up here. I'm not exactly sure when, because I have a hurt arm and was told I could not participate. But we do have another one coming up, and it's just another example of JobNimbus, caring about the community and people and giving back where we can, obviously. And then team commitment is the other value. So once a quarter, we'll do headquarter activities. We do weekly events, amongst different teams and different departments, obviously doing their thing. And then we have HeroCon, which is the really fun one. So every December, we get everyone in the company that wants to come. We go on a trip. This year it's a cruise. Last year it was Mexico. But it's the employee and a +1. It's all on the company. And again, anyone in the company that can go or wants to go is invited to. So that's really cool to work for a company that offers, something like that for recognition, obviously, for all the hard work that we do here. And here's a little video that will play you from last year's HeroCon. Not replay. Let's go to the next one. So that was a little recap of our HeroCon from last year. You could see our CEO up there on stage playing guitar. You could see his wife down dancing with everybody else on the team, and it looked like a great time. And I wish I would have started with the company about 2 months earlier, because I would have been there too, and that would have been awesome. But I'm looking forward to this year's. So if you're interested in working with JobNimbus, the interview process we have here is we try to streamline it. We know that it is no fun as a candidate to go through a long, drawn out interview process. So you apply, you do a phone screen with me. That goes well. You come in and do a cultural tour right before your in-person interview. I'll take you around the office, introduce you to anybody that's up and walking around, probably Bree if I can find her, but anybody else. And you get to see our culture and really kind of taste it and see that it's real, which is really cool. I love that we do that. And then from there, you meet with the hiring manager, and it can go two ways, right? It can be that you're the person for the job and you'll have your final interview and we'll make you a job offer. Or it could be that you don't get the job for whatever reason. Maybe it just wasn't the right fit for you at the right time, or it could be a number of things. But if that happens, and if you want us to and will allow us to, it's actually in my job description to help you find another job, which is something that was very out of the box before I got here, but I'm so glad that we do it. I think that it's amazing that we're just out there helping people like that. And so, yeah, so it looks like we made it through on time. So we'd like to open it up now for any questions that anybody may have. Skylar, are there any questions trickling in on?
Oh, sorry. So sorry, Nick. I was just catching up. Let me check to see. Well, we have a reference to Nacho Libre. Do you have any remote positions or anything in South Carolina?
Unfortunately, no, but I would love an invitation to come to South Carolina. I've been there for a few years and I absolutely loved it when I spent some time in Columbia.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, if you guys want to connect with Nick and Bree or with JobNimbus, please go ahead and go to the network button or the apply button below the video. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys in the next session. And again, Nick and Bree, thank you so much for joining us today. Super appreciate it.
Thanks.